Hi everyone, I'm Sophie and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to make a Halloween costume for my kid. This year he's requested to be the tiger, lovingly named Derpy from K-pop Demon Hunters, a favorite movie in our household. He's not in the movie terribly long, nor is his name ever stated on screen, but he decidedly steals every scene that he's in. In particular, my son, who is 6, was obsessed with the potted plant scene and has been recreating it with every object in the house. My plan from the beginning was to make him a blue kigurumi with a hood embroidered with Derpy's face. I also would have a plushie shaped like a potted plant perhaps, with a drawstring at the top that maybe you could collect candy in. He is a ruthless trick-or-treater and he got well over 6 pounds of candy last year, so it has to be quite roomy, easy enough to empty so that he can go and get more. Honestly, I was so inspired by this, I put all my other projects to the side and worked only on this for the next 2 weeks. Now for the kigurumi, I found this delightful pattern on Etsy that I thought I could modify for Derpy. For the fabric, I looked around for a fleece that I liked, but I didn't have one with the right color that really spoke to me, so I went with Minky. Now, anyone who's worked with Minky, you know that Minky is famously hard and annoying to sew with, but I felt like the challenge was worth it to get the right color and effect. I wanted Malcolm's Kigu to be quite plush and soft and huggable, just like the original tiger. Now, my husband said he was going to go as Saucy, but he ended up being Abby, and we'll show him later. The smallest size that this pattern comes in is an adult extra small, and that would be huge, so I went ahead and printed it at 90% scale. I would decrease the seam allowance to 1/2 inch from the original 5/8 of an inch, but that was easily doable. I then cut out the Minky. Now, Minky is a plush fur fabric. Much like glitter fabric, it is the herpes of crafting. The fur gets everywhere and it is absolutely impossible to get rid of. The entire house, including my hair and food, were covered in blue fur bits for the next 2 weeks. I did redraft the pocket pattern to be larger since this was pathetically small. Like, it wouldn't even hold a cell phone. Not that he has a cell phone because he's 6, but you know. For the most part, I followed the pattern as is. I first sewed the light blue belly fabric to the rest of the kigurumi. I never ever stay this, but you should really stay stitch the inside curve of the dark blue fabric for the Minky. And in my opinion, it's absolutely essential. Again, I never say this, I hate stay stitching. It kept the inside from stretching. And since Minky itself is so stretchy, it made sewing so much easier since it kept the fabric from stretching. For Minky, which is super slippery, I suggest using a pin to pin it together every inch or 2 inches at most. And I suggest using as many as 2 to 3 pins per inch around curves, but it does take ease or curvature really beautifully, so I do love that about Minky, especially compared to some silk or cottons and linens. It really is much easier to work with. I did iron the seams, but I quickly realized it made no difference. Ironing is not recommended, but if you do, I suggest putting a Minky on the bottom so it doesn't flatten out too much. Now, before I can sew the sides together, I had to add the pockets to the sides. All 4 pieces to all 4 sides. Luckily, the pattern does mark it very nicely. I also made a tail by just making a tube of fabric and turning it inside out. I don't even know how big it is. I was like, ooh, this is a good tail size, and I made it super long. I thought it was the right size. It's still too long, but that's okay. I pinned it between the 2 halves of the back and sewed it together. I reinforced it with a lot of extra stitching in case it gets pulled on, not that I suggest pulling on Derpy's tail. Then I sewed the front together along the bottom center front below where I want the zipper to go. The pattern recommends a 30-inch zipper, and of course, you know, 90% of that is 27, but I thought that was pretty long. I went with an 18. I think on my next one, I'll probably go 24 to 27. Finally, I sewed the front and the back together at the shoulder, sides, and bottom. I sewed the sleeves together and then added them to each side. Minky does take ease really well, so that made the sleeves go on much more easily than I'm used to. I made the cuff by sewing the 2 cuff pieces together along the edge and then turning it into a tube by sewing the 2 side edges together. I then finished the sleeves by gathering up the edge, matching it to the tube, right sides together, and then sewing it. I then turned it inside out, turning the wrong sides together and trapping the raw edge in between. Now, originally you're supposed to fold it again so you have the 2 folded edges but the fabric in between, but that does make 5 layers and it's really, really thick. So I just didn't fold over the inside edge. Minky doesn't really fray anyway, and used hand stitching to sew it down. For the legs, I folded over an inch seam allowance and made a channel for elastic. I left a 1-inch gap somewhere in the channel, it doesn't really matter where, and then use a tapestry needle to thread in some elastic. Since my son was at school, I used my own ankle to measure exactly how long the elastic would be, and then sewed the elastic sides together and then machine sewed the channel closed. You'll notice a lot of the raw edges inside again, but luckily Minky doesn't really fray, so all of this is fine. The edges are quite soft, so it doesn't really bother people. Now for the hood. There is a lovely hood pattern that the pattern comes with, but it requires the hood to have a curvature, and it also has multiple seams along the top where the face would be. I didn't want seams on Derpy's face. Moreover, when you have an embroidery machine, you really have to have the surface that you're embroidering on be like a flat surface. So a curved hood just wouldn't embroider easily or any way that I really felt like doing it. So I decided to use the 18th century method. The 18th century hoods are made of a simple trapezoid that you gather, and you also sew in a certain way that makes a beautiful star shape at the end. So first I got my Derpy face and digitized it on my palette 11. Honestly, this was a lot of fun to digitize. To embroider it on Minky, I suggest using a very strong cutaway stabilizer, then putting the Minky on top, and then using some dissolvable or iron away clear stabilizer on top so that the fur pile doesn't get in the way of the embroidery. I then embroidered along the edge of some blue Minky. I used silk thread because that's what I had in the house and didn't have the spoons to go hunting for Floriani in the city. I then stitched it out. It was a lot of fun to watch. Afterwards, I tore away the plastic bits. I was originally going to cut the edge so that the teeth were free and would hang over his face, but I liked the effect of just folding it over, so I went with that design instead. It's amazing how much your plans change while you go. I then cut out the trapezoid of my hood. For my 6-year-old, it was a 24-inch wide front, 17 inches deep, and 16 on the back side. Literally just an equilateral trapezoid. So I'll start with the back of the hood. I sewed the bottom 3 inches together and then folded over the fabric by 1/2 inch. And then I put 1 stitch every 2 inches to make a star formation. This gets sewn together just at the very center, very, very tightly. And when you look at it from the outside, it looks just like a beautiful little gathered star. I love this effect on 18th century hoods. And of course, it worked very well for Malcolm's kigurumi. I then pleated up the sides of the hood and then sewed it onto the top of the Kigu neckline. For the zipper, I just folded over the edge by about 1/2 inch and I just pinned it into the fabric and then sewed it in by hand. Though honestly, I think I could have just done it with the machine with no issues if I just felt like pulling out my zipper foot. For the ears, I made a triangle pattern using some tearaway stabilizer to figure out just the right size. I then added seam allowance to the pattern, cut out 4 pieces in the Minky. I then sewed it together and then turned it inside out. I had Malcolm put it on so I could figure out the perfect ear placement and then sewed it on by hand. Finally, for the belly pattern, I just used Copic markers to draw it out onto the fur directly. And I suppose I could add some stripes and all that, but this was feeling kind of done. So let's just stop here. And the costume part was done. And now for the best part, the potted plant. I wanted to make a little potted plant Halloween candy bag. To do this, I started with a plastic potted plant base that I got from Home Depot. Then I cut out a circle with some seam allowance in brown Minky. The circle, of course, I traced from the bottom. I hot glued it to the bottom of this potted plant. I put the glue all along here, but I did not put it along anywhere where I knew I was going to hand sew, which is along the edges here and on the top edge here. To make the pattern for the sides, I got a large piece of paper. In this case, I used tearaway stabilizer because it's cheap and I have so much of it in the house, and wrapped it around the sides. I just used paper scissors to cut it out. I used it to cut out the Minky. I then folded up a seam allowance along the bottom edge and used a glue gun to glue it on 2 inches at a time around the potted plant. I then pinned the final edge closed. All this would be finished with hand sewing, but the hot glue would hold it in place and give it more stability. Now for this part over here, I cut a 2-inch wide strip of Minky to cover the rim. I glued it carefully on the inside as well as along the sides here, and then just kind of pushed it in. Now for the bottom, I just put glue down all the way around and then pushed this in. I tucked the raw edges all the way under the rim, and even if it's kind of messy on the inside here, no one's gonna see it. For the top part, the plant part, I wanted to feel like a large Regency reticule made from 1810 with a drawstring. So I made a reticule pattern with 4 sides and then cut it out in green Minky. You'll notice this pattern is very similar to the one at the Rijksmuseum, which I've made multiple times. I sewed the bag together. However, the Minky itself is very wibbly wobbly and I wanted it to feel full, almost like a plushie for the plant part. So I cut out a lining also in Minky with the same pattern, but I stopped around 2/3 of the way down. I sewed these 4 pieces together as well. I also cut out 4 pieces of cotton batting and sewed the cotton batting to the lining, starting from about 3/4 of an inch down from the top of the lining. I then sewed the lining to the bag, right sides together, wrong sides out, and then turned it right side out, pushing the lining inside with the batting in between. I covered the bottom of the batting with the bottom of the lining and sewed it by machine all the way around. I didn't really care if the edge was raw because, again, it's soft, it's not going to fray, and it's inside the bag. Only the top half of the bag is lined with the plushie. I then sewed a channel at the top around 1/2 inch wide so that I could put a drawstring there. I threaded in some pale silk ribbon that I had painted green with Copics, and the plant portion was done. So I actually sewed this in by hand right here, just all the way around the edge. I also hand sewed this here by hand as well as here, just to kind of clean that up and give it the cleanest edge. I cut the heads off of some pink flowers I had lying around the house from a previous hot hat project and hot glued them on. And the outfit was done. Malcolm was extremely pleased and loved it. I can't wait for Halloween. I'm going to go as my favorite character is Zoe, and Matt is going to go as Abby. For those of you who want to make your own, I have linked all the materials I've used below. As for the tiger files, I'll put them up on my Etsy so you can get it, download it, and give this whole thing a try. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with more K-pop Demon Hunters content soon, so don't forget to subscribe.